Going on, guys?
What is up?
Howdy, howdy. Welcome back to another Tuesday Night Live. It is episode 107. I did not practice this beforehand, so we're going to take a stab at it. But Will Shier,
You perfect, dude.
Hey,
Way to go.
so Will Shier today, Michigan Bassman on all platforms. I didn't check, but did you have anything else outside of Instagram and YouTube?
I have a TikTok, but it's just not my generation. I don't use it, so I don't post as much, but there are stuff on there, and I'm going to try to throw up more clips in the future. But
Is
yeah,
that
Instagram
also
and
Michigan?
YouTube.
Is
Yeah.
okay, cool. So on all platforms, Michigan Bassman. We're what one. I'm excited to have you on. I kind of noticed your comments when we had Ken on talking about the murder frog, and then we kind of talked a little bit from there, which was a lot of fun. And then kind of built some form of rapport over that way, and now we're here. So it's really cool to one meet new people
Yeah.
doing the thing that we like to do already, and then see where the community goes and how it takes us and all that stuff.
well,
Yeah.
welcome again. We like starting off this episode with community events, or what's going on in the community. Do you have anything going on in your side? Anything? Any
No,
shows? Any
no.
tournaments? Any?
I mean, we got like the Ultimate Fishing Show is coming up here. And that's like the biggest one in Michigan. I think that's sometime in January. So I'll probably be there if anybody wants to come out. I'll be hanging out with a few other creator guys. So say
Is
hi if
that is that the New England show?
no, that one
Okay.
that is also a big one over on the East Coast. Yeah. But this one is here in Michigan.
Okay.
Probably like 30 minutes outside of Detroit. So yeah, anybody that's in Michigan, check out the Ultimate Fishing Show for sure. But
You
other than
know,
that, tournaments, stuff like that, everything's like pretty much wrapping up here. It's pretty cold. It's gonna snow on Monday. It's gonna be like a low of 22 degrees. So, but until that water gets hard, I'll be out there still trying to catch those fish.
Man, I went to Colorado this past week, and it was 30. I think the lowest it got was 37 degrees.
Wow.
I was dying.
Yeah, if you're not used to
Like,
cold.
no, because to me, cold, like when it's in the 50s here, it's like we're cold, man. You know?
well,
Eh,
I call it California freezing. So anything that's like 50-ish, give or take, I call that California
Dude,
freezing.
people from Colorado are probably wearing shorts in that weather, you know?
Yeah,
We're over here like all bundled up.
it was like 58 today. I was like sweating. Yeah.
Dude.
Yeah,
Yeah, we
it's
He's
started
crazy.
like,
out
fool,
pretty
like, just go outside. I'm like, nope,
Yeah,
I'm staying inside.
yeah.
But Daniel, what do we got going on
this
this month?
week.
This week,
This week,
nothing. I
not
don't.
too much, which is a nice little break. The good part about not having anything kind of around the corner per se is I got to pull out my boat today. We're putting some work into it. Hopefully, the cosmetics will be done soon enough, and the boat will be up and running. And hopefully, I can go put some fish on it by the end of the year, if not by the beginning of the year.
Nice.
And
Nice.
then so as far as anything local, nothing. The next event is on the 15th. So November 15th, we have Tackle Meet. And then December 6th, we have the Toy Drive.
The
And
Salty Bastards and
yeah,
Waterman's Toy
Salty
Drive.
Bastards and Waterman's Collective are holding that. And then after that, we have another event uh, for the Tackle Express that Aldo from Boondock Baits is hosting again. So there is a lineup happening. We want to see everybody there. It's always a lot of fun. But this week, not too much. Get out there, go fishing, have a good time. And then next weekend, we can all hang out.
So, have you fished lately, Will?
Yeah, I actually went out today for a few hours and
Nice.
it just shifted for us. So like literally 2 weeks ago, we had days that were like high 70s, almost 80. And then literally in a 2 week time frame, it dropped to like the low at nights in the 30s. So our water just like plummeted. Even from last week, it was like high 50s. And then today it was like mid 40s. So the fish are still kind of in that transition phase. Like they're a little skittish. I managed to pull in 2 largemouth, nothing too big, but I was chucking around those big baits though. So
I've learned to understand guys from like you from like Michigan or Boston. I mean, or other people we've had from other states. What's little ones to you?
little ones, we'll say any fish that's over 4 for largemouth is a good caliber fish. So like
Okay.
in the north, I would say, yeah, anything 4, 5, 6, that's like a good fish. And that 5 pound mark is like the hard thing to break for us in Michigan. Like I think this year, man, I caught so many so many fish in that 4 to 5 pound range, which I'm not complaining about at all. Like those are
Yeah,
solid
those are
fish.
nice fish.
I don't know if you see our fish. Our fish are a little bit shorter, but they're like butter balls. Like,
Stubby. Yeah.
yeah. So yeah,
They're
I
like
caught.
little footballs.
Yeah.
So Charlie and I's more common catches around here are called spotted bay bass. They're a saltwater bass and grouper hybrid, but we just call them bass. So what's kind of funny is the way you're talking about the Michigan bass right now, it almost sounds like a spotted bay bass because our spotties don't get wildly large. I mean, the world record right now is 6 pounds. So if
Oh
you come
wow.
anywhere
Great.
close to like 6 pounds, that's insane, by the way. So it's
I
like
mean, anything over 3 pounds it looks big,
Yeah.
because we're
I
not
mean,
used to pulling like
I
like
don't, I
threes,
don't know if I don't know if anyone recently has caught anything over three
Yeah,
pounds.
Sammy. I think Sammy's was pushing 3 pounds,
Well,
and
Yeah,
he
I
was
would
he
say
was
up
also.
to three or out of three?
I
Because
think it
that's a
was.
big difference.
I might
Up to
be. I
three
might
or out
be.
of three.
Maybe it was a little bit over 3
Yeah. So, I
because
mean,
it
so
was.
because they only get 6 pounds is where I was going with this. They tend to be like a little bit stubbier. Like a
yeah.
20-inch spotty is insane. Like
Oh yeah.
I think of like three in the last like year maybe that I've heard of. So where it's like so sometimes we'll get those stubby ones with just an absolute U belly in them.
Yeah. So
And
what would a 20-inch spotted
Oh,
be?
I don't
Like
think that
how
exists.
heavy? Like five
I don't
pounds?
think that
well,
exists. I mean,
no,
it probably does.
there's some that do. It really depends because sometimes you can get a really lean one, and that I
Yeah.
mean that could be 3 pounds. And then
Yeah.
if it has a belly on it, honestly, I could see that being 5 pounds.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. So I mean, yeah, if you have like a 21-inch largemouth here, like you're pushing 5. And then
You're
yeah,
like a 20. I say a 20 is probably pushing like 4.
okay.
No, I think it's more because I caught
I don't
a
know.
20. I caught a
I
19-inch calico, and that was
That's a
shooting
calico
out of
though.
4.
But that's a calico. They're more beefier than a spotty.
so those are different then, huh?
Yeah,
Okay,
yeah.
so we got some proof here from
See,
Adam.
my 19 was
I
3,
think maybe 4.
so maybe
Yeah.
4. Yeah,
Okay,
Yeah.
so in that range.
I wasn't say
Again,
I didn't say put out of 4. I say 4.
What's the
yeah.
lifespan on those? Do you know, or
That's a
On
really
what?
good question and something that I haven't actually looked up yet.
it's probably
On what?
harder to on those
Spotted
either like
bass.
yeah, whatever your bass is over there.
But that's the thing though. They it just depends because Luke caught a 16 and it was pushing 3, I believe,
Yeah,
or
but
14.
yeah, we're kind of now into the lifespan of it. So somebody
Oh,
in the chat,
lifespan.
Google that for us real quick so we can talk about it. But
It's probably
I
harder with
don't.
all the predators though in the salt. I mean,
Yeah,
you know, like our
and
largemouth are pretty top of the food chain here next to pike and muskie, but so they'll I mean, you have them that are 15 years old, and that's like when they get to 5-6 pounds, like 10 to 15 years, which is crazy. And then like some of our pike, 15 plus years old, 20 years old in walleye too.
Which is a crazy thought. You're kind of blowing my mind a little bit right now because now I need to know because
So
the
before
next
we
one I
go on,
catch.
Daniel, did you
Huh?
fish? Did you fish?
Oh, I did fish actually. I have a YouTube video to edit, but Charlie, I love how you're prompting this question because you were there, so you absolutely know that I fished. So hilarious, by the way. We
But
did
I
go out this weekend on the kayaks. Joe from So Los Angeles, angler, or So Los Angeles Fishing, he got me out on the kayak. I don't have a good kayak, so I don't necessarily go, but I finally broke down and was like, fine, I'll take out my crappy kayak. A lot of fun. I was fishing the bladed jig for the majority of it. I hooked into a lot of good like spotted bay bass in that. Cause like you were saying, that 4 to 5 range, that would be like a 15 to 17 in our book. Like that's
Okay.
like those are like solid fish. Like if you
Yeah.
catch a 15 to 17 inch spotted bay bass, you're like, oh, okay, like, all right, okay, cool. Like that's a big bass right there.
mm-hmm.
So I caught a decent amount. I want to say between like 14 and like 16 that inch range. So a good amount of like solid bass, but nothing that uh, you know to go too crazy for. But it was a fun trip. My arms are actually a little bit still sore from it, but it's good. I'm working on those back muscles right
Yeah.
now. We'll get
Dude,
out there again.
paddling the kayaks is, I mean, when you get some of the heavier ones, it's rough.
That's a different
Yes.
level, man.
Any wind over like 5 miles an hour, man, it's like,
Oh, I
yeah,
we were fishing the outgoing tide, and I got caught in the main channel, and then the wind picked up for a second. Dude, my kayak, I was like right here and just shot out so quickly, and I'm paddling back as fast as
right.
I could.
Yeah. I got soft, and after a couple trips in my kayak, I put a trolling motor on the front.
It's
I
like I'm
can't.
done. No more
So
paddling for me.
I have been absolutely spoiled. I have friends who have top-notch kayaks
Yeah.
from the paddles all the way to the motors. And when I went into those, or when I used those, it was like, oh man, I can't use my kayak. This is like it's like two pieces of 2x4 put together, and I'm just like sitting on
Right.
it, kind of
Yeah.
thing.
Yeah. Once you get into it, it's hard to go
So,
back to the paddling for sure. Cause I used to fish a ton. So it's funny, I used to be like diehard paddleboard fisherman, like before it was like cool or a
like a
thing.
thing
Yeah.
before it was a thing.
Yeah, like literally before there was like fishing paddle boards, like I was using like a normal paddleboard. Um and dude, I had so much fun with that. But then I ended up, getting a boat eventually, and then um this year I actually had a ton of fun just going back to like the kayak and paddleboard just to like simplify things. And man, it's something about like getting out on the water just in nature and not having any electronics or anything, and just chucking big baits and trying to find those big bass and pike. But
So that actually leads me into my next question. I know you're a larger bait and big bait enthusiast. Do you ever find yourself drawn to smaller stuff, or do you throw smaller stuff at all, or is it just that grind and
Hey, he's
reward?
trophy hunting. He's trophy hunting. He ain't ready. Hey,
so
I'm
one
just
thing I'll
saying.
say, I think what happened is solely based
I
on
already
like,
love this.
yeah, based on like where I'm located. I don't know if you know anything about like northern fishing or Michigan, Minnesota in general, like this area. We have a ton of fish. Like I
I
just
love
so
that
many fish. But
big bait Willie.
yeah, nice. Um, yeah, he's a Michigan dude. Um, so I think he's in Michigan. Correct me if I'm wrong, Feather, but I think he's around the area somewhere. Um, But anyways, so many fish. I mean, 1 to 2 pounds everywhere. So I think it got to the point where this is going to sound horrible, tired of catching so many small fish. It's good. It's fun to catch. Any fish is good fish to catch. I want to just preface by saying that. But I wanted to kind of weed out those smaller fish because instead of catching 20, 1 to 2 pounders a day, I'd rather catch one 4 to 5 pounder or no fish and try to grind it out the next day, so yeah, it was kind of that thing going from transitioning from a ton of fish to just consolidating down to find the bigger fish is what it was. And then I just kind of fell in love with the grind and it just became a whole thing. It's funny how
Dude,
you like fall into stuff.
it's true. Me and Luke, we had been going out to ponds, to fish for largemouth, and it is a grind, man. We're throwing wake baits, and they're
Nice.
not small wakes,
Yeah.
and it is a grind.
Wake baits are fun for sure.
It is
But
a
yeah,
grind, man.
I think it's just like it's the whole experience. It's not necessarily catching the fish. It's like you're hunting pretty much, like you're not fishing. One of the guys I saw in here is a Michigan guy, Albanian fishing guy, AFG. He's like super known in the area on Fishbrain. I don't know if you guys have Fishbrain, but he's got like thousands and thousands of followers on Fishbrain. He catches a ton of big fish, but yeah, gosh, I don't even remember where I was going with that. But
he's part of the grind as well, I think.
oh yeah. It's just it's fun. That's what it was. One day he said to me, I was out fishing and he was there, and he's like, "Dude, you're hunting. You're not fishing." And that's pretty much what it is. You're going out and then when you do get that bite, it's so much more rewarding. I feel like. Oh, there we go.
Very true.
Now I wonder if it's like the added difficulty and then the reward due to that added difficulty, which is where it's like, yeah, I might not be on the top-notch kayak or the top-notch, let's say, vessel, just to, umbrella term it. I'm not on the top-notch vessel, but I'm still out on the water. I'm still out here grinding. I'm doing what I can. And then that added difficulty, depending on where you are, equals to a higher success, or not success, but gratification from that whole aspect of it. But it's funny that you bring up fish brain, because I don't think California has the same viewpoint to fish brain that maybe other people in the world do. And this is probably going to take a side turn here for conversation.
I know
a big one. A big one.
We've never talked to anyone about the Fishbrain app in general, but the only thing that I've ever heard from it is kind of a negative.
Well, I'll tell you. I'll tell you my point of view, and then I'll tell you what I think about it.
Yeah,
I mean,
so I would love to hear the Michigan
yeah,
and your community.
I feel like apps like that don't work out here because fishing is not looked upon as it is like in your state, right? Like fishing is here is like we have so many spots you can't fish, like so many, right?
Yeah.
So an app like that, I feel like it doesn't work.
Yeah, and you guys don't want to like blow out spots and stuff, which we don't either. Like I'll preface by saying, when I mentioned Fishbrain, he got big on Fishbrain when it was like first starting out. And now I feel like like it's got more of like a negative connotation to it just because like you don't want to wreck spots or overpressure fish. So like a lot of the bigger public waters, it's not like as big of a deal, because like we have like the Great Lakes, St. Clair, we have inland lakes that are like 4,000 acres, just like giant inland lakes. But we literally have, I know Minnesota is like the land of 10,000 lakes, but we also have like last time I looked, it was like 12,000 lakes or so. Like we also have a ton of lakes here. So like in my radius, like 30 minutes, I could fish 400 bodies of water. Like, it's ridiculous. I mean, there's
That's so
water.
cool.
Yeah, there's water everywhere.
I could fish for 400 milliliters
Yeah,
of
and
water.
not to mention, like, I could drive 40 minutes to St. Clair. I could drive an hour to Saginaw Bay, which both of those places have huge fish. So I think it's the fact that there's so much more water here than other places. So there's not as many pressured spots. But that being said, there is also a lot of like gatekeeping, as I'm sure there is there, where, like I said, guys don't post or blur out backgrounds. Or I was just talking to a guy who caught a 6.5 pound largemouth locally the other day, and I was like, dude, probably don't want to post a video of it, post like pictures, but like you don't want people seeing like where it was at. But
Well,
I would say Fish Brain now is majority a younger generation. Like, a lot of kids posting stuff. Like, I'll go on there just to see, like, did any kid catch like a giant
A big one.
and like post it because he wants to show it off to his like school friends. Uh,
Yeah.
so me and buddies do find some spots like that where like some kid just miraculously hooked into like a pounder, and you're like, dude, we gotta go fish
We
that.
gotta go check it out.
Yeah.
the thing is, our saying down here is women, children, and rental rods. That is more a little bit towards cattle boat and like those charters going out. Women, children, and whoever like doesn't have any gear is renting gear. Those three are going to automatically win or catch the biggest fish of
Jackpot.
the day.
Yeah.
Yeah,
No, but it's also like it's not like, especially in the salt, right? Like, there's a lot of spots we fish where it can't hold that much people. And yes, a lot of people say like, hey, why wouldn't you want to share? Well, because not a lot of people know how to respect areas, and it only takes one person to ruin it for us, right?
Yeah.
And yes, you could be like, well, one person can. Yes, one person can ruin a spot, right? Like, where
yeah.
you'll
One of the
it will
added
be unfishable.
difficulties
Yeah.
is we're very residential. California, or at least in Southern California, there's hardly any land that isn't built upon at this point. So if we are accessing salt water in general, there's most likely
Somebody's
somebody's
house.
backyard. Yeah.
Somebody's house.
So it's
Yeah, that's
like
crazy.
But you know
it,
what? This is like a rabbit hole. This could be a whole episode in itself,
yeah,
and we're not here
yeah.
to talk about
Okay.
burning spots and talking about spots. We're here to talk about you, Will. We want to hear about you and your big catches on big swim baits.
Yeah.
So let's jump into it, man. I saw your latest episode on the two baits that you reviewed. I think that was the latest one you posted.
Three bases.
Um,
Like on unboxing?
Yes,
yeah,
you're unboxing.
Yeah. Yeah, so that's pretty cool actually. I got one of them sitting here just in case.
Though I'm big on presentation, and
Yeah.
I love the details all the way down to like the smallest thing. And so watching that unboxing, and if you have the brand name off head, I would love to promote it.
Yes, that's Sink Fishing, which is
Thank you.
dude, their packaging is insane.
Yeah, so it's a brand new company. I wouldn't say I'm not big on like supporting like big box or like like big brand. I like to support the small bait makers. This company though is a little bit different because it comes from a guy, Andrew Malash, who
Yes.
or Andrew Gardner from Malash Fishing. He does a lot of pike decoys and stuff for spearing. But he's been a bait maker for years. And if you guys have the time, go check out my video and
Oh,
I talk about it a little bit more.
one, go check out the video, and two, that is my new homework, by the way, is to go look up who he is and everything about him. Because
Yeah, super cool, dude. So he hand carved all of them like out of wood, and then they did high tech scanning and like weighting and everything, so it fishes exactly like it fishes the most like a wood or a resin bait, but it's ABS plastic that I've fished, because there's a ton of other ABS plastic baits out there. And some of them do not fish well. Like, it's hard to beat resin baits. Most big swim baits now are made out of resin. But yeah, like I said, awesome company. That bait, super sick. It just gets big bites. I don't know. Some baits just have the it factor, but like I said, loves supporting like the smaller guys though too. Like we were just talking about Kyle Gracely, who's over there. And then Throwback, all the smaller companies. I know.
Dude, yeah, Kyle from Gracie Baits, his baits really like hit hard, and they're catching big fish, man.
Yeah, dude.
Big
There's
fish.
so many good small bait makers though. And I know we talked about like what got me into big swim baits is I always like appreciated the craft of like making something from hand and like putting your heart and soul into it. And yeah, some of these baits are a couple $100, but I always like say, like, if you were gonna spend however many years and X amount of money making something yourself by hand, and then once you finally perfect it, and then you got to make all the baits by hand, and it could take you however long to make one single bait, like, you're not going to charge $20 for it, right? Like,
Yeah, for
so
sure.
like, I think it's worth it. And yeah, you can catch fish on any type of lure at any price range, but I just enjoy, I appreciate the art. It's almost like, you're fishing with a piece of art is what it is.
One, California is an artistic location to begin with, but not to take away from anyone else anywhere. There's a lot of artistic people who have a draw to the fishing world, and I absolutely want to see it blossom and flourish and grow, because I mean, it's some of the coolest stuff in the world in my mind. Like we have some really cool painters down here, and then
Why are you reading my mind?
Because we're having the same conversation, Charlie.
Some of the paint on these
we have
baits
a lot
is
of cool
some really cool painters, man.
So
really cool painters.
It's cool because we have this like rich culture and underground and just artistic background in California, and there's a lot of people who have tapped into that and then also love fishing. So then it's like this merriment between those. And I mean, I know Charlie's box is full, my box is full with stuff that we can't throw. Like, you just know,
I refuse. I refuse.
Sadly, it's going to like rot in our box, but it gives us so much joy that we have it, and we're going to have it, and we get to see it, and it really is the beauty and the art behind the fishing and all that stuff. But it also makes me think of the saying, like, one is none and two is one, which is the fisherman's way of counting. So whenever you do anything, make sure you buy 2 or 3.
Right. Yeah. Some of them though, that's another thing is people get caught up in it, myself included, but like some of these baits are so hard to get, they do a drop. That's the big thing now, is the drops of the baits, and they sell out like, in 30 seconds. It's crazy.
Oh yeah.
So
do you know who Piz Swimbait is?
Yeah. Yep.
Dude, I big shout outs to Peck. I won in a raffle. I didn't like buy it, but that's a bait I will never throw. Like, it's just gonna. It's in the package. It's sealed. I'm not throwing it.
We're gonna cut to a video of Charlie rolling over in bed, and
cuddling it.
Dude, but the cool thing is, it's like a calico pattern, right? It was meant for a saltwater. So it was during his. So he does like kayak tournaments. So it was for a kayak tournament in the salt. So he painted a triple trout in like a calico pattern. So it's pretty cool. I think it's a triple trout.
Yeah, maybe. Yeah.
Or maybe like a.
No, I think that's. I
no, it's not a no. It's probably just like a 3-jointed bait. It's a 3-jointed bait.
Yeah. Yeah.
we have
But
a good
it's
we have a good question in the comments that's a little bit above my head, so I'm going to read it off to you because it'll probably make more sense to you rather than me. I could borderline understand it in a sense,
did you
but
share it already?
no, you
I'll share it.
if you want. So, how do you feel about changing or chasing big steelhead in the winter rather than fishing the hard water?
Dude, I'm all for that. Feather, if you want to get out and do some steelhead fishing, it's out of my wheelhouse, but I would totally be down for that. Yeah, being the big bait guy, the ice fishing is just not, it's just not my thing. You know,
You
'cause-
got to use big crappie jigs. You know
right.
what I mean?
Just sit there in your hole and jig like a big swim bait.
You know,
I can
as
picture
much
that.
as I love, I will doom scroll fishing content, and I mean, people do catch some outrageous things ice fishing,
Oh
but you
yeah.
know, but it's always on like the smallest little jig of some sort, ice
Yeah.
Hey,
fishing
hey,
jig or
elephant
inner
see.
tube
What is
jig.
it? What is the saying? Elephant see peanuts.
Yeah,
Yeah. Yeah, you can catch like a 40-inch pike on a little like a little jig. Um on, you know, your little ice pole that's literally 2 feet long. But because they don't fight, it's too cold, you know, so you're kind of just like dragging them in. So using that smaller pole with like the super light action feels like, you know, you're pulling in a shark. Um,
yeah.
but yeah, it's just the whole act of like sitting there, like just jigging for hours in one spot and not getting bit. It's just, I can't do it. Once you fish the big glide baits, you're like always on the move. Even now, like sitting in a spot on open water, it's just so hard for me. I'm so used to like moving, fishing the glide baits. You know, you see them coming through the water. And that's, I think, like
Dude,
a cool part about it too is our lakes here are so clear. I would say 85% of my catches on glide baits are like sight fishing. I don't know if you've seen any of my videos like
oh,
that.
I was just gonna say that. Like you have like some pretty cool catches, man, where they're like they blow up on it and on
Yeah, and you
camera.
watch them tracking it through the water, and then it becomes like this game of cat and mouse where you're literally like watching them. It's almost like sight fishing in salt when you're fishing for like snook or tarpon or something, and you can literally like see the school. And a lot of those guys will throw like live bait out there. But yeah, in the freshwater with the bass and the glide baits, it's similar to that where like you can see a bass off that's like 50 feet out sometimes. Like today, I could see the bottom of my lake in 20 feet of water, just crystal clear. It's crazy. But yeah, you see them and you cast it out there and then you watch them start tracking it, kind of figure out how they're feeling that day, what they want and what's going to trigger them to eat. Like some of the times they just want that same action all day, but then we turn off, you know, a couple of casts you do, you know, like pause it, do some quick like rips and try to get them to react to it. So it's like all the learning process. I think it's just like everything's turning as I'm like out for the day trying to figure out what the fish want. That's part of the fun too. But,
Well, that's kind of like, I mean, I went short pounding this weekend too. They were on the kayak, I was on shore, and it's kind of like every time I go out. I mean, even though I'm fishing some of the same spots, it's like I'm always like thinking, if I was a fish, I'll probably be there, you know. And it's funny,
yeah,
like most of the time you end up getting a fish because you know you get that one cast and you're like, I know there's a fish there, and you get the cast that you want, and you're like, oh, it's gonna be a fish.
yeah,
You
I
know?
will have to tag on to that though. When there's not a fish where you expect a fish, where a fish should be, and you don't get bit,
It's heartbroken.
get
Heartbroken.
out of
all
here,
right.
dude. It
Yeah,
makes me so mad when you're like, there's
But
a
yeah,
see,
fish
but
right there.
this is one of those things that if you know, you know, right? Like if you're there, no shame to anybody jigging in a hole, right? No shame to somebody throwing out a bait and waiting. Like it's something about chasing that bite that you wouldn't understand if you don't know, right?
right.
To somebody who doesn't fish that style, it's like, oh, fishing is boring.
Yeah,
No, fishing is not boring, you know? if you're doing it.
So many ways you can go about it. That's like perfect. Like big baits are not everybody's thing, and I understand that. And some people enjoy the smaller stuff, or like fly fishing, like there's so many different ways you can fish. And I think that's like part of the fun is like testing out new ways and finding what you like. And who knows, I mean, I'm probably pretty hooked on big baits, so I'm not going to go too crazy now, but who knows, in a couple years I might be like all into fly fishing. But
yeah, one, you got to change with the season. Two, which you're probably well aware of, just in general, what bites in summer rather than winter or spring, or the changing seasons and all that stuff. But one of the things I wanted to ask about is because one, apparently Michigan has very clear lakes, as you've mentioned. When fishing larger baits as such, what do you do, I guess, differently to counteract that clarity? Because in the recent years, our harbors have become like gin clear. Like there's some days where you're like, my goodness gracious, like what, like 20 feet deep. You're like, Jesus, like that. I feel like we're in like a tropical location right now. Like this looks like if we
Yeah,
were
but
in
I think
Hawaii right now.
when we're fishing, we're I mean, at least where we fish or I fish, there's structure, right? We have structured fish. Fish don't come out in clear water usually, for us. But I think freshwater is different, isn't it? Like,
yeah, I mean, water clarity and fresh, it doesn't affect the activity of the fish too much. Like they're used to the clear water, so they're just cruising. If you're gonna see bass cruising all over, pike. But another thing in Michigan is we don't have too much underwater structure because a lot of our lakes are spring fed, or they're like glacial. They're not like reservoirs that they filled that have like
mm,
submerged trees and rocks. And it's like a lot of grass, like just like big bowls with weeds and some drop offs, no like steep like rock like cliffs like underwater or anything like that. It's like very soft bottom usually and a lot of weeds. But yeah, they're used to the clear water. I will say it affects the big baits a lot, because you get, when you're fishing big glide baits, they start like tracking it, like I said. And there's times I see fish following, and like I think they're about to bite, and they're 20 feet off the boat and they see me and they turn off, which sucks.
mm.
um there was a day a few weeks ago I was out. I'm not even exaggerating. I saw like 20 or 30 fish follow my bait in, and they saw me before they bit.
And just turned around.
Yeah, they just turn off and that's it. They're done. That fish is done. So yeah, to counteract that, like when it's super clear like that, you're just chucking that bait as far as you can get it out
Keep it
there.
away from me. Keep it
Yeah,
away from me.
yeah. You always want to play like the sun and the wind.
There you go.
So
Long
like
open water cast.
watch your shadow coming down from the boat and your body, and um trying to, yeah, it's almost better fishing when we have rougher water with the big baits than like glass water, because they'll see you. They'll
Yeah,
see your boat,
interesting.
they'll hear your boat coming. So yeah, it's a lot of like, watch the spot lock. Like if you're sitting there with spot lock, they can hear your motor because it's so calm, so clear. So they hear it and then they see it and then they're done. Um, so a lot of, yeah, like drifting, like I said, watching the shadow, um, turning off graphs. Like I days I catch my biggest fish, I don't turn on my graphs at all and I
Really,
drift.
do you think it sends out like
It's so controversial.
that's what I was gonna
Like,
say. Do you think it sends out like
yeah,
sonar, where it's
yeah.
like the fish can feel it?
Well,
So
we talk about their lateral
Beep.
line being an electricity kind of pulse feeler. So what's sonar? But that sending some
yeah.
form of wave. And mind you, this I'm no engineer in sonar, so please, by any means, correct me,
So I
somebody.
will say the science out there says that what they think is the bass it's too low of a frequency for them to hear or feel.
Mm-hmm.
But just by like trial and error, especially with live scope, like the last 5 years, a lot of the big bait guys, a lot of like the swim bait community, I mean, they'll tell you you'll catch fish lacking, like you will. They'll slip up and they'll bite, and you might catch like a 5+ pounder. But any fish over 5 usually like
Is in tune. Like they're in tune.
especially up here, like I said, you get a 5 pounder, he might be 12 years old. He's seen a million baits and he's heard a million boats. He's heard a million sonar pings. It's like whatever it is, the psychology, like stimulation theory with like the bell, and like they're gonna realize like, oh, that
Yeah.
frequency coming off the
Interesting.
motor, or like bad, I'm not going there. So it's like little stuff like that you got to think about when you have such clear water and calm conditions, and it's just all of the little things that add up.
You know,
Yeah.
the nice part about talking to freshwater fishermen, but somebody who's dedicated themselves to the craft as such as you have, is you definitely bring in this air of freshness that we don't really, I would say, dig into too much in the saltwater scene, which does make, I do think our fishing can be a little bit easier, just because they will eat a lot of things. They're very aggressive, which makes them fun to fish for, which is why we fish for them. But I don't. You can still be successful, is what I'm trying to say, without having to go in with all this like mental thought and planning behind it, and still have a
Well,
good day. But it's changing. It's changing
hey,
because it's an ever growing sport, and
you know,
so
a lot of people say that, right? It's like you could just go out and catch a fish in the salt, right? No, it takes, you got to know what you're doing too, right?
yes, you do,
Like,
Charlie. I'm not trying to say that there's
you
none
can't
of
just,
I
that.
will say, yeah, that goes for anywhere though. Like some 10-year-old kid could go out and throw a worm on a bobber and catch a 10-pound bass. It's just over time and like repetitions, like you're going to be more successful the more thought and effort you put into it, as opposed to like getting those lucky catches for sure. But yeah, I think like you were saying, Charlie, like if you want to be the best you can be, it's better to put the effort in for sure.
yeah, for sure, right? Like,
Now,
yeah, you
I
could go
want
out
to.
there and like wish for a big fish, right? And you might
Yeah.
get it, you know? But it's, you got to prep for it too, right? You got to know, like, everything has to be in tune as well, because you can hook that big fish and not be ready, you
Yeah.
know?
Yeah. Yeah. That's, yeah. What'd you just pop up on the screen, Feather? Less than a few handfuls of people. Yeah. The swim
Yeah, I
bait stuff
wasn't
in
sure.
Michigan is not a big thing. I think that's why I like found a good niche with doing that, because a lot of, I mean, like you said, there might be a dozen guys that are like consistently throwing big baits, and I probably have talked to most of them now, which is cool. We have like a little community, which like in Texas, they have an awesome swim bait community as well, but there's more people doing it. So you might not know everybody, but it's pretty cool to meet people and throw the bigger baits. Like a lot of the tackle shops up here are based on like walleye and smallmouth fishing, which you do a lot of jigging with like little swim baits or a lot of little finessey type stuff. So like the big swim baits, they don't even carry them in most stores up here. You walk in and ask for, like a 10-aught beast hook. They're like, what do you need a hook that
What
big?
is that?
You can't catch a bass on that. Are you kidding? It's pretty
So
funny.
that there's a little bit of that same sentiments here, because again, our very sought after fish that is more easily accessible is our spotted bay bass,
Mm,
which is, I would say, most comparable to the smallmouth bass, just because they don't
Hmm.
have that wide capability and that larger mouth of the largemouth, but they fight like heck. So going big is very fun and very doable due to the fact that they're just wildly aggressive. But it does turn people off because they're like, dude, there's no way you're going to be able to catch, a 14-inch bass on a 6-inch bait. You're like, that's half the size of the fish. And a 14-inch fish is a good size. That's
Dude,
legal here.
we have a video. We have a video we did with Nick Aaron from Lateral Vision, and he's he's kind of breaking down like what he likes to fish for spotted bay bass, and it was mostly like bladed jigs and like little baits, right? And he's like he talks about that. He's like, you got these guys like Charlie and Daniel out there throwing 6-inch slugs, right? On scrounger heads. You know what a scrounger head is, right? A
Yeah.
scrounger head, and you getting they're getting these 14, 15-inch spotties to this is something that's never been like what we would never throw back then. And
Yeah.
these guys are throwing these big baits. I was a big I was big like on like I'm not throwing big baits for spotties, like, right? And then you'd be surprised, man.
Yeah.
Well,
It's crazy to see how it's evolved for sure.
Yeah, and some of it is the fact that with the increase of the popularity of the sport, these fish are seeing some of the same stuff over and over and over again. So changing it up, whether or not that be a random color, a random size, a different bait profile in general, can get that bait bit or
Like
that success rate
like
up in a
this
sense.
swim jig, right? This warbait swim jig, custom painted,
Hold
and
your hand behind it. You're kind of getting washed out from your light. Yeah, there you go.
so it's custom painted by SoCal
Yeah.
Fishing Squad, but it has Daniel's trailer on it. I mean, this is like all in all probably like 4 or 5 inches, right?
Mm-hmm.
Like that's a big bait, man.
Yeah. So I will say, like, for largemouth jigs like that, either like a swim jig, flipping jig, or bladed jigs, very popular up here. Um, and they catch a ton of fish. Like, I always like to say, I mess around with my buddies when we're like, oh, we gotta finesse them today, so I'll pull out like my chatterbait or my jackhammer that has like a 5-inch or 6-inch trailer on it. I'm like, this is my finesse.
That's your finesse.
Yeah.
You're like,
Which
guys, I'm
is
really downsizing. I'm really
well,
downsizing.
and again, one of the things that I love to do is take freshwater applications and bring them over to the saltwater. And I'm no way, shape, or form the first person to do that. People are better fishermen than me, and people have been doing it before me. So I'm just one of the ones in the cog of the machine. But
He
it's
doesn't take enough
enjoyable.
credit.
Okay, then I'm fine. I'm the first one to ever do it. No, but it's enjoyable to like throw out the bladed jig in a sense, and there's not too many people doing it, and then you just have a killer day on it, and you're like, well, no one's really doing it. It's not too popular in the saltwater
Yeah.
community right now, so I'm going to capitalize on
And
this fishing
I
style
feel when
that
you
they
get
don't.
into like that, when you get into blades, I feel like fish are like they hunt it down, like it's not like slow rolling a bait, right? Like
Mm-hmm.
you're swimming this bait and they're just like boom, and you feel it, man. It's a small fish, but you
Yeah.
feel the hit.
Yeah. That
I'm
was funny.
serious,
That was
dude.
my rod guy who just said that. He's got sick rods. Check him out, McGee Custom Rods. Um, I did a couple custom rods with him this year. Man, he builds some awesome rods. But yeah, the 10-inch for the smallies. That's funny. I mean, people
Dude,
are catching smallmouth bass on the glide baits, like treble hook baits at least. With the bigger beast hooks, it's harder unless you get a 6 or 7 pound smallmouth. It's hard for them to open their mouth up wide
Yeah.
enough. But yeah, I mean they're crushing them on the big glides with the trebles, and man, it's pretty crazy. But
so
yeah,
this is a I feel like this is so what's your like rod combo for throwing big glide baits? Like what do you
so I would say my favorite is I fish a lot of glides that are 7 to 8 inches, like 2 to 4 ounces. That's kind of like my favorite spot. So you need a swim bait rod for that. You can't just buy like a conventional rod, especially up here in Michigan. You're never going into a tackle store and finding a swim bait rod. It's just not going to happen.
You have to get it made.
Yeah, you got to get it made or order it from some of the rod companies online. But yeah, so my rod that is like my favorite rod right now is from Nolan McGee there, and it's a 1 to 6 ounce, so broad range. But it's very sensitive. It's got like it's technically a fast tip, but it's like a fast moderate action. So you want that bend in the middle of the rod when you're using the treble hooked baits to keep the fish pinned. Similar to like if you guys ever fish with like crankbaits or blade baits, or you don't want them to, pull those out. It's easier to pull out the trebles. But yeah, so I'm throwing that rod, and then 200 size reel is fine for that size bait. I actually had a question a few hours ago from somebody asking, like, is a 200 size Tatula or a Corrado okay for like 2 to 3 ounce glides? And I was like, yeah, that'll hold you over fine. I know guys that throw it on 150s or 100 size reels. It's not the best for your gears and your reel long term, but if you have somebody wanting to like throw a glide bait every so often, go for it. That'll work. So generally like a 200, I like 300 size reels just because I feel a little tougher with the big beefy reel.
You're not going anywhere.
Are your reels high ratio or low ratio?
Gear.
Yeah.
High gear?
So really that I think is preference kind of with the bigger baits, because they say usually with big swim baits to use a lower gear ratio so you're not overworking the bait, which is a good rule of thumb. But once you kind of get used to how your reel works, I think you can make anything happen. I mean, I don't know if you saw my video of like I've figured out ways to make baits do 360s and do 180 turns back, and it all goes with like the rod to the line to how much slack's in your line to how you're inputting the reel. But I generally like a little faster reel on my soft swim baits, which is like opposite of what most guys because like I don't know if you know Working Class Zero over there.
Yeah.
So like the bigger Working Class Zero baits like the Citizen 7 or Tyrant 8, you really what you do with those is you cast them out, let them go to the bottom, and you just like crawl them, with that bottom contact. I actually like faster reels for that. So I'm doing a slower crank, like painfully slow. But when I do get that bite, because those big beast hooks with those single hooks are so hard to like penetrate sometimes, I can reel up my slack quicker. That way I can crack them faster.
That makes sense.
So that's what I like for those. And then generally for my glides, I'll use like a 7-4-1, just like the mid range. There's my rod there from Nolan. But yeah, so generally quick reels with softer baits, like I said, opposite of other guys, but find what works for you. And then so like at 8-5-1 I have on like some of my soft bait rods, and then 7-4-1 is just a good middle ground. I feel like you can do anything with it. And then generally I get a lot of line questions too. I'm so like I hate tying leaders. I hate like wasting time doing that. So generally, I'll touch on that kid real quick who just commented. But generally, I'm running straight 20-pound fluoro. And then if I have to put a leader on because I know it's like risky waters with pike, I'll throw a 50-pound leader on because that's like light enough fluorocarbon leader, light enough to like not affect the action a ton, but still heavy enough to be able to like get that bait to the boat. So I'm not losing $100 baits just from one quick pop.
I want to just mention really quickly, you're doing a fantastic job answering everybody's questions in the comments.
Oh, thanks.
By the way.
Yeah, so that kid
was
that
a recent comment about the pike.
Oh, was there really? I didn't even
Yeah,
see that one.
I had it up, and I was about to click it, but we were kind of going in a different direction. But somebody just asked, like, "Hey, with pike being so toothy, what's the kind of like the direction that you take with them?"
Yeah. Oh, yeah. I see that. Worry about losing baits. Yeah, I've had pretty rough weeks. Luckily, I've been working with a lot of companies like lately, so I'm not paying the $200 a pop every time. But I mean, you're still losing, that bait that's worth $200, and that is rough any way you look
Yeah,
at it.
there's still that heartbreak right there.
Yeah, and some baits, like you said, are more sentimental than others. Like this one I
Yes.
have sitting here. I don't know if you've seen any of my videos with this, but
Oh, that's
the pink one,
dude.
the Metro Glide.
Yeah.
Dude, if I ever lost that bait, I'd be devastated just because like it's just has so many memories on it.
Is that a
My
throw?
thing
It's a
is,
throwback.
That's a throwback.
Throwback.
Yeah.
is there
And
anyone diving in Michigan for baits? Because I feel like there would be a genuine
Like business
business
for it.
model around, like, hey, you got your bait snagged, I'll dive down and get it, I'll do
yeah,
it, I'll
I
set
mean,
the bait.
honestly, if more people were throwing swim baits, I feel like that would be a thing. But like I said, there's not a ton of
Oh,
guys throwing swim baits. So um, I'm one of the few that gets my heart broken sometimes. But but yeah, with the pike, like I said, if you get, I like to run Daiwa. Is they have a good fluorocarbon leader that's 50 pound, and it's a little bit more like it's not as rigid as some of the other fluorocarbon leaders, so you can still get like baits to get a normal glide side to side without too much action hindrance. And then I crimp them all myself, so I just figure out the length, play with length on your baits. um Smaller baits, generally smaller leader, like a 5-inch finesse glide. You can do like, I've found 4 inches is like a good leader size. And then like a normal 7 to 8 inch glide, I run like a 6 or 7 inch leader. And like I said, it's just enough to like try to get that bait back to the boat, because there are times I'm fishing 8-inch glides. Like I lost two in 1 week this year, and it was
Ugh.
brutal. And like I said, these, even though I get these baits from people, they're not making these baits constantly. They'll do like one color and then they'll send out that color or do a drop on that color. And yeah, you get one and then you might not get that color again for 4 years, until they decide to do it again. Um,
Oh, that was Daniel before. He wouldn't.
kill me
He
now,
wouldn't
are you
write his
kidding?
colors down,
I'll
dude. He wouldn't write his
sometimes
colors
I'll make
down.
a
And
color.
then he's like, he pours his sick color, and I'm like, dude, I like killed it last time on this color. He's like, can you
yeah,
make some?
I
He's
don't
like,
know.
I'll try. And it
Yeah,
was like, it would never look the same,
yeah, right. It's like that cooking recipe. You need it.
dude.
Yeah.
Gotta have it. But
But then
yeah,
he would make like remelt baits, and it was like just as cool, you know.
yeah. But yeah, I mean, try to run a leader if you're in pike waters. There's later and you have a leader on that glide bait, or it might be gone. So, but there's other lakes that don't have as many pike in them, and just from fishing them, you don't catch a ton of pike. So, but yeah, love hate relationship with those things. They're vicious, man.
So I wanted to show. Slick asked if I had a if I had a bait made, what would it be? I don't know, man. There's a lot of cool people making baits, so I don't know if I would want a bait mate. Make a bait. Um, I don't know. I don't know. Everybody's making cool baits. I
Dude,
don't know
there's
if I
so
would
many.
want something made,
Yeah, there's so many
but
cool bait makers out there for sure. Like I said, that one kid who said something, 13-year-old kid, he reached out to me. He's like, "Can I make you a glide bait?" He's like, "I started doing woodworking. It'll be a wood glide. I'll paint it." It's like, dude, send it over. I'll try to catch a fish on it. So I'm
I
excited
love
to
it.
see how that
One of
that's
turns
cool,
my
out.
man.
So
But
before I even got into plastics, I was making hard baits, and I made this like double jointed gill, which wasn't the best, but also wasn't the worst. It had this really cool, and again, this is completely by accident and like human error.
yeah,
Uh, but it had this such sick, just like U shape, almost like a full like 360, but like it would just like catch and then just keep going. And so you could do this. And there was one day I was just running along the weed, like the weed line, and I
Yeah.
mean this bass came up out of nowhere and hit it. And I was like up here, kind of like on a rock, like on like a mountain a little bit, to where I could see down into the water. And it
Yeah.
was such a cool eat, and oh my gosh, it was so
Well,
much
he
fun.
recently also made one. What was it? A jointed?
Oh, you're right. Yeah, I did make a
Such a cool looking bait. Had a nice
uh
looking face on it. Swam really tight, like even on a burn. And I'm like, dude, stop fishing it and like get it made. You know,
Yeah. Make a
like
mold
get
of
it.
it.
Yeah,
Yeah.
get a mold,
I
dude.
wanted to
He hits
catch a
us.
fish on it so bad.
He sends a message to us like a week later. He's like, I just lost that bait. I was like, how? He's like, I cast it and it broke off. Well, you didn't even catch a fish on it,
Dang,
dude.
that sucks. Yeah.
I got the specs. I don't have enough time as is to do the woodworking that I would like to do. But it's always fun. I have, when I do have the time. Right now, the time is going to a boat. Once the boat's done, then maybe I'll take a week off and do another project and do another project and do another project.
Slick, I
And
answered you. I don't know. I'll shoot you an idea if I have one. Um,
yeah,
but let's talk
it,
about
it's
let's talk
Charlie's
about big
favorite time.
fish.
Yep, it's
Um,
Charlie's favorite time.
I want to ask about that pike that we posted on. It
Oh
was
yeah.
some pike, right?
On the
Yeah.
thumbnail.
He's a
That's
fat
some
one.
pike,
Has this like fat roll rolling over my hand.
dude.
So I caught that on a working class zero citizen 7 actually. And then that same day I got the back half of those bit off.
Ooh.
Of two of them, which those are hard baits to get as well.
Dude,
But
that's a pricey bait too.
yeah, but I managed to land that one, so I was happy for the day. But yeah, that one was right around 37. Um, and then I don't know, I never weigh like bigger fish like that, like pike or walleye, or it's just not good for them. They don't have that inside like organ makeup where like if you hold those big fish lengthwise, it's like supposedly pretty bad for their insides. So I don't put them on a scale, but yeah, that thing was a beast. Those things, man, when you hook into those and you know it's a big one because you set the hook and then all of a sudden you're like coming back. Oh, what was that? Dude,
I,
I had a
now you
few of them
guys,
that size this year.
do you guys have striper in Michigan?
No,
And
those
No
are
striped bass.
I could assume so because you haven't posted one, and which is
yeah.
my thought into why, or that there are none. I went, well, if Will hasn't caught one, there's probably none.
Yeah.
Uh,
Oh, I
but
appreciate that.
that's similar to kind of our environment, to where it's like sometimes we'll get a random striper, and you'll go like, oh man, this is a solid fish, and they'll just go. And you're like,
Yeah,
oh, I think that's it. Okay, we're gonna back off a little bit. We're gonna fight this guy a little bit more.
yeah, yeah. No, we sadly don't have those. Those are, West Coast, East Coast, and then
Hmm.
it seems like they're like a little southeast too. I didn't know. But yeah, I've seen
Maybe.
guys catching them like around like Tennessee, like Georgia, North Georgia, like around there. I don't quote me, but I'm pretty sure I've seen some guys catching them over there. But yeah, I would love to get into some big striper, go to the East Coast. I've seen a couple swim bait guys caught, giant ones this year that are just I don't like 50 inches. Like I don't know the exact length, but they look huge. So yeah, that's a bucket list fish for sure. But
What
yeah,
about largemouth? What's your biggest largemouth?
just over 5, man. I'm on a scale, um, like 5'2", but
That's
you,
still a
you
solid
never
bass,
you
man.
never have the scale on the big days.
Yeah.
You're like, no, I
And
forgot it.
and I'm sure that you are well ingrained and just well knowledgeable about it. You cannot say what you think a fish weighs.
Oh yeah,
Uh,
no.
You will get eaten alive on the internet. This
Yeah,
guy's
right.
probably 7 pounds. You could have just weighed a 7 pounder. You could have just weighed one.
Yeah.
Forgot to and
Dude,
been like,
yes.
oh,
No,
this
it's
one looks.
true.
This is almost
It's
a
true.
twin. This is probably a 7 pounder. If you didn't
Yeah.
weigh
It's
it,
true,
you
man,
didn't weigh it.
because like it happens. You know, you catch this big fish and you're like, dude, this is definitely hitting over 5, and you weigh it and it's 4 pounds. What? This
Yeah,
fish is
right.
huge.
Yeah. Yeah, no, I got to the point where, like I said, dude, there's so many fish right at that 5 pound mark here. Um, Super hard to catch, like I said, but I mean, I had 75 fish this year that were in that 4 to 5 pound range that I just got so fed up. I'm like, I'm not bringing a scale anymore. like, like, because I'm searching for that 6, 7 pounder. I'm like, dude, I know there's, I,
6, 7.
yeah, yeah, dude. What,
6.
Got him.
what does
Got
that
him, boys.
mean?
Got him.
Dude, I've been seeing that. Like somebody commented on one of my videos because I said something
Six,
about
7.
6 to 7 feet down, like not knowing what that meant. But yeah, dude, there's
Dude.
some big fish here though. There's a few guys
Hey,
in here.
Creek Kid said he got some spots, man. Let's
Yeah,
go.
he's a cool dude. I gotta head down there and fish with him soon. And then
Dude, I
Luke's
wish
in
I could road trip and just hit
Barcelo
all up
fishing.
towards that guy,
Yeah,
towards that area.
dude, he catches a bunch of tanks too. He's a Michigan guy and he catches sixes like all the time. He's a tank. But yeah, shout out to all of Michigan and all the swim bait dudes that came in that I see in the chat here. That's awesome. Showing
Will,
support.
Pretty cool, man.
we have been doing this for well over, honestly, 2 years at this point. There have been a lot of reposts and a lot of comments, and I want to say that you are a beloved Michigan fisherman in the community, and it was really cool to see everybody come out and to support one another fisherman, but also just the community as a whole. So it was really cool because I've started a couple conversations with some people.
That's
Uh,
awesome. Yeah,
but
dude,
yeah,
I appreciate that for sure. Yeah, I mean, there it's a great community. I mean, I'm sure you have it over there too in the West, but
We definitely do. I can't I can't complain about that, you know? Like
yeah. Like not even just Michigan though. It's just like the whole like swim bait community, man. It's like it's crazy. It's awesome. Everybody's buddies, everybody talks. Always like sharing, trying to help out. Like I said, I think it's just the grind of it that people, like to help and try to keep people going with it. So yeah, that's cool that you said that. That's awesome.
it's
let's end it with this
also.
one. What about a smallmouth?
Small dude, smallies are not my bread and butter, but um, I I've probably only caught a dozen smallmouth in my life.
Still more
And
than me.
More than me. I only caught one and I didn't even get it on the boat.
yeah, but I've never actually thrown a smallie on a scale, but somewhere in that 4 to 5 pound range for sure. One of
Nice,
my buddies
nice.
is extreme outdoorsman. He lives like a mile from me. He's big smallie guy.
Does he have a podcast?
No, he's got a YouTube channel.
Oh,
He's got
okay.
like 30,000 subscribers on there and like 100K
Nice.
on Instagram. So he's a seasoned fishing creator. He's been at it since like the boom
Actually,
of it.
that leads me into a quick question. We're kind of going over time here, but I do want to ask. One, I've been deep diving your channel, which has been a lot of fun. You recently posted your first podcast episode, but we did have some comments coming into this, which is, hey, what's coming for 2026 or just the future in general? And what does what does your content look like in the future?
Dude, I love talking. Like the podcast thing is so much fun. I might do some more of those. That one was just like a spur of the moment thing. Hatch Match Baits, JP, one of my buddies that I've gotten to know over the last year. We are like, yeah, let's do a talk on some of the new stuff you're working on. And I had such a fun time. I was like, I got to do more of these. So more of those to come for sure. I'm not gonna be like a schedule like you guys. You guys are pros at this, but yeah, there'll be more of those. I love the big swim bait stuff. You brought it up. Apparently, I'm like the tester guy.
Yeah.
So yeah,
Going through all your
He's
footage,
the
I was
swim
like,
bait
man,
tester guy.
how much
if
stuff is Will testing out here?
if you want to see what's on the horizon in the swim bait world, check my stuff out because apparently I'll post more
That's
videos
cool.
of baits that are coming out. Like I was just doing the throwback baits mini. That bait is sick. I'm sure when that comes out, it's like the mini Metro Glide. It's 5 inches, 1 ounce. That thing's gonna crush. So keep an eye out for that. But yeah, just getting
Dude,
new
it's cool that you're
stuff.
working with all those companies, man. It's pretty
Yeah,
cool.
just getting new stuff. Like I don't like to do the same thing over and over. And I know people have brought it up before. So constantly trying to fish new baits, fish different ways, just trying to like innovate and do something different to keep it fresh and exciting. But I'll be down in Texas probably for the Houston Fishing Show. So anybody that is going to be down that way, I'll be doing some stuff with Tackle Shack. So
Nice.
that'll be coming up and meeting up with some people down there to do some fishing, hoping to get into some of those waters that have the double digit bass, which we don't have up here. So keep an eye out for videos on that, chasing some giant southern bass for sure. And
I'm
yeah,
looking
Totally
forward to
cool.
that.
just getting out on more big water next year probably. It's funny you brought up the smallie thing because I think that's going to be like something I dive into next year as well, is getting out on big water more like St. Clair and the Great Lakes and trying to figure out how to catch those smallies out there on the big glide baits, which nobody is doing. So we'll see if I can pull something off like
Where
that.
is that tackle shop located?
So there's that one is in Cypress, like around like Houston area.
Mm.
And then there's another one in Austin that just opened up maybe like 6 months ago or so. But the main one is it's in Cypress. And owner there, Anthony, awesome guy. So got some stuff coming up
Yeah,
with him. Michigan guys, we're doing a giveaway for Christmas to help give back to local mom and pop shops. So we're gonna be
nice.
doing it's gonna be like a little scavenger hunt type thing where like I'll post where I'm placing something and whoever finds it, they'll get something from whether it be a big swim bait, like one of the, bigger name swim baits or reels or rods or some it'll be a good scavenger hunt giveaway that helps out promote those mom and pop shops as well, not just fishing related stores but just helping out the community. So keep an eye out
Super
for
cool,
that.
man.
Will that
Super
be
cool.
posted on your
They'll be on
Instagram, both
my
Instagram and
yeah,
YouTube?
they'll be on watch on my Instagram and as well as Tackle Shack's Instagram. So yeah, keep an eye out for that.
Do you want to promote yourself real quick once again, just at the to get
And
your
then whoever you want to
business
give a
out
shout
there?
out to as well.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, Michigan Bassman on all platforms, mainly YouTube and Instagram. If you want to see more like day to day, week to week, check out Instagram, YouTube. I love making the longer videos, and I know you've watched some of them. Um, I have so much content that like I'm talking like 100 days out on the water from this year that I just have not taken the time to sit down and edit
I
and
feel you,
post.
man. I
So this
feel you.
winter, I'll have time to do that. So probably more YouTube videos coming this winter. But yeah, watch the Instagram. Shout out to my awesome wife. I'll throw that in there because I know she'll want me.
Hey, you can't
Um,
forget about that.
yeah, and my parents as well. Generally, if I'm fishing, um, they're babysitting. Either my mom or dad's coming over and helping watch the kids. So shout out to them.
Right
But
on.
in all the awesome companies I've been working with, there's a ton of them out there. You
Awesome.
don't know who you are, but check my Instagram if you want to see more on those companies.
Yeah. Also, your YouTube shorts, you do a lot of good job fishing, and then also mentioning about the product and fishing products in different ways too. So that's
Yeah,
always
for
cool.
sure.
Super cool.
All right, we got to get
Well,
going.
this is
Will,
gonna
it was
this is gonna be it for us. Go ahead,
yeah.
Daniel. Sorry, I'm over
No,
here
I was
cutting
just
you
saying,
off.
Will, it's been an absolute pleasure. Uh, one,
Super
just
fun.
that freshwater and that bass orientated approach to fishing is a lot of fun. It gets us a lot to think about. Not necessarily new topics, but a different approach to things, which is really cool because now I'm, it's got my brain turning. It's got some cobwebs that maybe in the back of my head that areas that haven't been
Get
used
that bait
before.
going.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But
So
I haven't said this in a while, and whatever your niche is out there for fishing, whatever you do, whatever it is, keep doing it because we do it because we love it. It fuels the fishing, right? It feels us doing what we love to do, and it fuels the love for fishing. So
it
keep doing your
fuels us
thing.
mentally, physically, and
Yep.
spiritually.
Keep doing your
So,
thing. What fuels it all is our love for fishing. I'll catch you guys on the next one. We'll catch you guys on the next one. Peace. Thanks, Will.
yep.
Thanks for
Thank
hopping
Same
on, man.
place, same
thank you.
time.
Peace out.
Peace.